It's time now to introduce you to somebody who's pretty special. Just so you know, she has not captained a sports team, she's not a politician or an entertainer, but she is a graduate of the Talamunde program with Talamunde Youth Services, one of the 7 frontline youth homelessness charities that the Chapel Foundation exists to support. As you will soon see, our young speaker is courageous and talented. She's become a role model out of what was an incredibly tough, rough start to life. Because Taldemunde gave her the chance she deserved, our young speaker is in a very, very different place today. The support that you give tonight helps the Chapel Foundation fund programs like Taldemunde to turn lives around. So to introduce you to our speaker, would you please welcome the Chair of Taldemunde Youth Services, Virginia Howard.
Hello everyone. Last financial year, Taldemunde looked after just over 800 homeless and at-risk teenagers, while turning away 365 young people because we did not have a bed for them. Taldemunde is known for looking after the young people who many other homelessness organisations will not take because their needs are too complex. You are about to hear, as Tracy has just said, the extraordinary life story of one of our outstanding young people. Would you please join me in warmly welcoming Alana.
Hello everyone, my name is Alana. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to share my story today to show how with courage, determination and the right support, you can achieve what seems impossible. But I also hope it shows how services like Taldemunde can help make the impossible possible. I still remember my first experience with Taldemunde. I was sitting in Taldemunde's intake office with my buzz-cut hair and zero expectations. I wasn't expecting to be accepted. By this stage, I'd been turned down by a couple of other services, and I remember thinking, nobody wants the mentally ill girl. But Adam from intake told me the words I desperately wanted to hear. He said, "Sounds like you deserve a chance, Alana." And I can proudly say today that a chance really was all that I needed. This wasn't my first... This wasn't my first experience of being homeless. It was actually my second. My family broke down when I was only 14. My home environment was very abusive, and as a result, I developed severe mental health problems. At the time, I was living in a small country town which didn't have adequate resources that could care for me. So through a series of distressing events, I came to Sydney and was admitted into a high-security adolescent mental health unit. I was too unwell to realise it at the time, but it was there where my parents abandoned me and said they no longer wished to care for me. So from the ages of 15 to 17, I was homeless and literally living in a psych ward. I was finally discharged into a group home in Western Sydney near Blacktown. Yes, I was out of hospital, but I was still a very lonely, vulnerable girl. I remember hoping that just maybe the group home would be like a family and that I'd feel loved. Unfortunately, I was not happy with how the group home was run, which caused me to feel unsafe. I was exposed to drugs, poverty, and abuse. While all this was going on, my mental health suffered. And although we have come a long way in destigmatising mental illness, the stigma still exists. I remember one doctor telling me, when you finally die, you can come fertilise my lawn, maybe actually put you to some good use. I've told this story before and people have said, how did he get away with that? My experiences told me doctors had power. And because I felt vulnerable and scared, I felt like I didn't have a voice. So I kept quiet. Through a negative interaction at that group home, I became homeless again. But this time, I just didn't have any fight left in me. I decided that 19 years on this earth was too long and I wanted to take my life. I fell into a deep depression and became institutionalized again. I remember people kept telling me, once you find a home, you'll be okay. But I thought the damage was irreparable. No home was going to save me. But my social worker back then drove me to this place that sounded like Barramundi. And that's when I heard those magic words. Sounds like you deserve a chance, Alana. I started out at one of Taldamundi's semi-independent homes, and at first I really had my guard up. I remember coming home from school and my case manager back then, Morgana, would ask in a chirpy voice, "Alana, how was school?" And I would start power walking to the back of the house. I was scared of her, not because she had done anything wrong, but because I just wasn't used to people taking such a genuine interest in me. Morgana persevered and we talked about school and what was going on for me. After my initial panic, this actually became my favourite part of the day. I slowly learnt that the youth workers genuinely cared for me too, and we'd go on outings. It may not seem like much for some, just going to the beach and having an ice cream. But when you've been stuck in survival mode for so long, it brings a sense of normalcy that's invaluable. I had started my recovery journey, but it was when I moved into one of Taldamundi's supported independent apartments in North Sydney that I really started to thrive. The area was amazing. It had resources I could have only dreamt of. I had the gift of my own little Zen place and some other great case managers, thanks to Vina and Kate. And that's when Buzzcut Alana with zero expectations disappeared. I started to smile, I started to make friends. After 4 years, things were finally changing. I finally completed my HSC, one of the proudest moments of my life, and Taldamundi was right there at my graduation cheering me on. In 2020, I qualified as an assistant in nursing so I can help other people just like how Taldamundi helped me. Thank you. I then went on to pursue a Bachelor of Nursing and was amazed to find myself achieving high distinctions in my assignments. Yeah. And I also achieved employment as a specialised dementia carer in a residential aged care home in Darlinghurst. But the most amazing part about that job was that I was able to care for clients who had come from a background of homelessness themselves. It was both an honour and privilege to be able to use my life experiences for good and help other people who are vulnerable and in need. Recovery is a journey. I still have my good days and my bad days, accomplishments and setbacks. But I would have never been able to achieve these amazing accomplishments if it was not for a service like Taldamundi. I'll never be able to repay Taldamundi with my words, but I'm hoping I can pass their compassion forward and make an impact on other people's lives. And you can too. Please donate tonight, if possible. Thank you all for listening to my story. Thank you.